This is Croven back once again with Rias Nia for the 4th District versus Legiunea Romana. The 4th District for this match has brought 2 Harbingers, 2 Hurricanes, an Aneros, a Curse, a Manticore, and a Vengeance. And I believe there's a Rook there as well that may not be locked on your screens.
And the Legiunea Romana team has brought the 2 Maelstroms, their Abaddon, 2 Dominixes, the Ishkur, Stiletto, and Tyrannus, recycling the same winning setup that they used in the last match. Yeah,
again, both teams brought the. They did bring the same setup as last time, or at least very close to it, according to the sheet that I'm looking at in front of me here with our info from previous matches on it. We do have a slight delay in local. We're waiting for the final countdown. Meanwhile, we always joke about Morse's Mihian role-playing, but the 4th District are actually real-live role-players.
Yes, they are. They're Caldari role-players. They've been doing it for a very, very long time. The majority of their members, in fact, I'm pretty sure, yep, all of their members are members of Kane, which are actually a very accomplished PvP corporation. We see them a lot in Losec as pirates, as Vito. They fly around Black Rise, they fly around Placid, and, you know, they've definitely caused issues for us before.
Mm-hmm. And the 4th District team, most of them have come in very close. However, their 2 recons, the Curse, the Rook, as well as their Aneros, have come in at range. The Legiunea Romana team coming in at a mixture of ranges, ranging from, looks like 10 out to 30 or 40 with their battleships, various fits on these ships. And we should be underway here pretty soon. Hopefully the bubble is up, and we are just sorting out a couple of things, and then we'll be ready to get underway.
Well, I mean, let's just talk about some of these ships that we see here, because we haven't seen the Maelstrom a whole lot, and we haven't seen a whole lot of success out of the Maelstrom, with the exception of that particular win that the Romanian Legion produced. So, let's see. Oh, looks like we are actually getting a countdown now, and the match should be underway in just a second.
No, because that's not local chat. CCP Claw, in a slight navigational error, actually found the staff channel instead of local. But now we're just about ready for the 10-second countdown in local, where we'll be able to start the match and get this underway. I think he's giving everybody a second to make sure that they are in fact ready for the countdown. We do have the 10-second countdown now and should be ready to go in 5 seconds, and we are just about to get underway.
So, lots of damage available for the 4th District. Those Hurricanes and Harbingers put out a whole lot of hurt. Also, the Rooks doing, you know, their job to make sure that any damage from the Romanian Legion team is mitigated. Looks like we're seeing some tracking disruptors, a whole lot of drones going out. Looks like quite a... Ooh, we've got some...
sentries everywhere.
Yeah, sentries and some faction drones. I see some Republic Fleet bouncers.
Even. Yeah.
Haven't seen a whole lot of use out of the faction drones so far in this tournament. I'm really excited to see those. The bouncer, obviously being Mimitar, I'm partial to it. But the faction drones, well, they don't get the same tracking and damage bonuses of their Tech 2 counterparts. They do get a whole lot of extra hit points, making them a little bit tougher to kill and a little bit tougher to get rid of.
Yeah, and 4th District is taking some spread damage. Both teams with a bit of spread damage right now. That first Hurricane for 4th District already just about out of armor. You know, once you get out to a certain point where those sentries are able to track you, then you're going to be in trouble. Now, I did see both of those Hurricanes using some kind of E-War, possibly tracking disruptors. Again, with the animations being... I don't know if they're identical or just very, very similar. It's hard to tell, but that Hurricane has gone down now. Meanwhile, the Legiunea Romana team has a frigate in trouble, a Dominix in half armor already, and it looks like, when it's peeked at those dummies earlier, it looked like dual 250 railguns on those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Romanian Legion team has taken up a mix of ranges here, probably using the 250s to equal the same range as Barrage on those 800mm that are fitted on the Maelstroms. That gives them a little bit more flexibility and a little bit of extra DPS that you don't normally get out of the Dominix when you're fitting it for utility. A lot of utility fit Dominix is seeing smart bombs, cap transfers, things like that in, you know, Tranquility on the actual server in PvP. You usually see it with remote reps fit as well. It's pretty rare that you see it with blasters or rails.
Yeah, we did lose that other Hurricane now. Meanwhile, the Dami, he's holding in there, just about to dip into structure though, and is going to have a rough time of it after that. The Manticore, actually, those torps doing a fair amount of damage to the Dominics now. We just saw that chunk of damage you just saw come off the Dami's structure. That was a torp volley, and we've got another one incoming now, and there's quite a bit coming down there. And Harbinger. Now the first Harbinger down, the Manticore down, and that Harbinger following shortly thereafter. This is turning into a slugfest in the middle of the arena here.
Yeah, 4th District probably not doing as good a job with jamming. Either that or the sensor strength on these battleships is too high. You'd think that that Rook would have taken out a little bit more of their damage, but the Romanian Legion really doing a great job keeping their own ships alive. That Dominic's just, you know, squeaking past with just a little bit of armor, the occasional small rep, I think coming from those rep drones. As long as he's in the field, that's a whole lot of damage coming from his bonused bouncers.
Absolutely, and but he has just dropped. But that second Harbinger now for 4th District also in quite a bit of trouble and just about to go down. And let's take a little bit closer look, and it looks like that Abaddon. Yeah, well, I'm definitely seeing the Dami shooting him as well as the Abaddon, and down he goes. When you get in that close with that much damage, railguns, even though they are the longer range weapons, I mean, against a battle cruiser, the tracking isn't terrible, so they're still going to be able to hit for a reasonable amount.
No, I imagine they're relying on their frigates to allow them to control that range through webs and scramblers, allowing, you know, forcing the battle or the Harbinger to sit in one space and basically take as much damage as they can toss on it. Although the 250s do hit pretty hard with with antimatter at short range.
Good that they do, especially looking at volley damage. Railguns do have decent volley damage. Looks like the Curse now is going to be the next target. He does have some armor bots on him, and he is, looks like, well, obviously he's going to be nosing nuding, but trying to see if there's tracking disrupting going on there as well. Kind of hard to see through the lasers that are coming his way at the moment. But he dipped pretty deep into armor, or about a third of the way into armor, but has pulled it back with the help of those armor bots. Meanwhile, the second Dami for Legiunea Romana appears to be the primary here, and as well as one of the Ishkers is taking a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I believe that Curse definitely tracking disrupting. I can see the animation coming off there, and you know, as Groven was saying earlier, the animation for sensor dampeners and tracking disruptors is the same animation, as well as remote ECCM, remote sensor boosting as well. So sometimes it can be a little bit tough to tell exactly which animation is actually running and whether or not a certain type of E-warfare or a certain type of boost is running. You kind of have to look at the direction it's going, and then you have to try and decide whether, if it's range, it's more likely to be a sensor dampener rather than a tracking disruptor, but not always.
Yeah, and it looks like that Curse is actually tracking disrupting the pair of Maelstroms, and actually we're seeing the Oneros for 4th District in quite a bit of trouble, and just about ready to pump. I think we also just lost a frigate there as well.
Yeah, 4th District really done a great job keeping their team alive for as long as they did, using that Curse so effectively, but now with their logistics gone, they're going to have a hard time doing much of anything. Already that Curse going down very, very, very quickly. Clearly the tracking disrupting helping, but not nearly enough to keep him alive.
Well, I think the issue here at this point is that the Abaddon's in range. While he may be tracking disrupting those Maelstroms pretty effectively, that Abaddon is very close, and as we see, just melted right through him as the Curse goes down now. Looks like just the looks like a Rook and a Vengeance remaining on the field for the 4th District.
And the Rook has been scrambled by both frigates, it looks like. That's going to keep him effectively from, you know, micro-warp driving or moving at any sort of speed out of range of these Maelstroms. And he has already popped, so next will just be the Vengeance.
And we should see that Tyrannus zip out there and try to bring him down, though it looks like the Dami is nuding him, so he's not going to be moving very quickly regardless. But once that Tyrannus gets in range, he may have a pretty rough time of it. Yeah, that looks like that Tyrannus has neutrons on, so once he gets in range, that Vengeance is going to be hurting.
Now, the Vengeance is a tough little tanker. Obviously, it's the Tech 2 variant of the Punisher, which is one of my favorite Amarian frigates. Has a really good tank on it, and when I flew in Faction Warfare, I had an absolute blast using the Punisher. So those of you looking to get into PvP, I would, you know, setting your sights for the Vengeance or starting with the Punisher, a great little ship.
Yeah, that Tyrannus now in range. We're seeing chunks of armor coming off of the Vengeance now from the ships remaining over there. Still, you know, the Dami's right on top of him. The battleships are all shooting him, not having a lot of effect. It's what's able to get there through traditional drones as well as that Tyrannus on him that's doing the bulk of the damage and dropping through armor rather quickly.
Well, and it's a great example of one of the things we've been talking about all night, which has been transversal. Even though he's webbed and not moving very fast as he explodes, that transversal made it hard for the larger ships to hit him. So that's going to be the end of the match for the 4th District. You know, tough shot role players, but you know, good luck next year, guys. And